I'm with you now until the end. Tonight's the test.
Good evening and welcome to Conspiracy Cafe. Tonight's the test and I am the punishment that's going to fit the crime. A lot of crimes this evening. Welcome back to that channel, that radio. That is where it's at. This is where it comes from. And I'm your host, George Freund, and I've had a busy day today doing a lot of radio. We were on the Power Hour early in the morning, and my co-host, Tim, has a show that we're doing on underground radio in New York, and that's called The Smoking Gun, and that's 2 hours long, so we had a lot of fun doing that, exposing a lot of the lies for a whole new set of victims. And the good thing about our victims is they become informed very, very fast, and then they can take control of their lives again. We've had a very interesting break, as I'm sure everyone knows. The whole world changed, as we said on the last show. Just wait for Christmas or New Year's Day or something. They'll do the usual human sacrifice or something akin to that. And sure enough, they did the false flag terror trick, a la airplane. And I think we all know where the New World Order is headed for that. They're trying to complete the set with world global domination. A lot of changes have come into place in these intervening few days, and the whole world has to change because we're in a post-Detroit world, if we believe that cockamamie crap. There's a lot of holes in that story. A lot of media have covered this already. We'll rehash it a little bit more. And if we flash up on the screen there, we can just show the episode of The Border that's going to be on tonight. Don't watch the show personally, but this one's going to be a hottie. Some Somali terrorists from Canada are going to go south and whack the President of the United States. So for people who are into that sort of entertainment, good for you, because as we recall in our 9/11 TV happenings, Fox TV, 19 months before the World Trade Center attack, put up a show called The Lone Gunman, where people hijacked a plane that was flown by remote control into those nasty World Trade Centers. So it's just amazing how they get their stick on the ice sometimes. And maybe the Americans beat us at hockey, but in intelligence gathering, we're going to beat you. And because we come up with the real McCoy, real fast, pretty much all the time. We said last year, and even before last year when we started this this set of shows, that when Obama was going to take office, we thought something was going to happen. And lo and behold, the National Post, Canada's one of Canada's main national newspapers, and a Bilderberg-controlled newspaper, published a highlight that there was a tip from, again, a Somali, that there was going to be a hit on the inauguration. So the RCMP did an investigation. They have concluded officially that it was a hoax. But just lo and behold, people who listen to this show and some of the spin-off ones that we did, Spearman's own show, and then Cosmic Horizons was the set before this one, that we were talking about that very, very same thing at the very, very same time our intelligence services were looking for something. And I guess it didn't pan out, so you got all these actors and a good script. You might as well do a TV show called The Border tonight at 9 on CBC. Will they get the president or not? But they sure didn't get the airplane. And that's the important thing. As soon as you see that go down, you know right away it's some kind of scam. Just from the the look of the first picture. If we can zoom in on the screen again, Randy. It just doesn't take, why is everybody's face all knocked out here? It's Be Kind to Terrorist Week. That's his Christmas present. Same with these law enforcement officers. All their faces are all smudged out. And again, why? That would be the biggest arrest you'd ever make in your career ever. Why would you want to be hidden? It's not like they're an elite anti-terror group, perhaps, that always go around with masks. No, they're supposed to just be frontline police at the airport. So I found that very, very unusual, to say the least. And then the old Columbo brain clicks in and you go, something's bothering me about this. And of course, as the thing unfolded, it didn't take too long to find out that there's a million things wrong with this episode. One other quick picture while we have it here is this is the gentleman who saved the day and jumped the terrorists and put out the flames, and you just look at that wing that he's got right there, and you know, the terrorist was supposed to have second and third degree burns. This PETN explosive, when it burns, like you're talking ginormous fireball. And you know, I just find it hard to believe that when you see the skin outside of the bandages, how pink and fresh and healthy it all looks. No blisters, no red. And look at that face. You ever burn yourself really good, especially on the hands? There's a lot of nerve endings in the fingertips. It hurts. It hurts a lot. And you can't stop the blistering and all the other stuff. So you're going to have that evil grimace for a good period of time. And then, of course, the man with no face, the terrorist, after a bit of time, the U.S. Marshal Service released a picture of him, and he just looks like he's in another world, dazed and confused. But he was supposed to have second and third degree burns around the genitals, almost to the point of that they would have to be surgically removed, as I understood one of the stories. And then you just look at his face and you go, like, he's not in any kind of real pain. You know, he just looks dazed and spaced out. So if he were burned to that extent, like, I would expect that you're going to see a lot of stuff. I don't even know how he got out of the hospital. Like, you've got to be looking at least a couple of weeks with severe burns to be in a burn unit. You know, I just can't see they're just going to, you know, let you loose that quickly. So something just doesn't add up. There's a lot of things that are rotten in Denmark, even with the script that they have. We did have a real terror event over the holidays, but of course that got no attention because they just blew up a big insurance building in Greece. Real bomb, real explosives, things shattered to rat crap all over the street. But of course, that just got one tiny little news article, one of those little ones that fits in with the classified ads, almost totally useless. But that was real. And then this one, the one that's not real, gets all the attention, and the media just goes into overdrive. I was fortunate to be, you know, awoken one night and tune into Coast to Coast when they were talking about another great president, Harry S. Truman, who did one of those great warnings for the future. He wrote this in 1963. It was called Limit CIA Role to Intelligence. It was in the Washington Post, December 22nd. And he said very clearly that we cannot allow the intelligence agencies to do black ops. We just can't. Their job is to just collect intelligence without prejudice to give to the president so that he can make informed decisions. No more, no less. But we see that it has changed so much and turned into, like, basically something like the OSS, a commando group, you know, just waging jihads in countries all over the world for basically American business interests. So that was the warning from history. We didn't listen. We didn't listen about many other warnings in history, and of course we pay the brunt of this. Some of the funny things that come out of this role of this bomber that you don't see in mainstream press, that they won't pick up, is the fact that he's sitting in seat 19A, which is a play on 9/11, because A is the first letter of the alphabet. The plane lands at 11:51. 1 and 5 is 6. Turn it upside down, you got a 9/11 again. The airport is Romulus, in Romulus, Michigan. Romulus served as the first king of Rome. After his death, he was deified as the war god, and there goes the you know, Remus and Romulus story from ancient mythology. They couldn't pick a better plan to do all this stuff. Then we get into some of the fine details. One report says his visa was scanned on the Advanced Passenger Information System. He was refused a visa in Britain. Of course, he just goes through. Nothing happens. The APIS, Terrorist Identities Data Mart Environment, was another database that he was allegedly in. So then we find out later, a strange, suspicious older man in a very nice suit put him on the plane in the Netherlands. He didn't have a passport, so they wouldn't let him through, of course, and then he was funneled off into a side office to speak to a superior. And then, for whatever reason, that lack of a passport didn't matter. The rich gentleman in the suit said he was from the Sudan, and we do this to people from the Sudan all the time. Really?